Hey, what's up, my Radical Squad? My name is DelmarshaeWalker. Welcome back to my channel, and I hope everyone is having a great day today. I want to talk about this term that is now being used, and it's a very dangerous term because of what it is leading to, not what it can lead to, what it is actually leading to. They're saying that the kids belong to everyone. They're everyone's kids. You know, they're not just your kids. They're the government kids. They're the state kids. They're everyone kids. And so that more or less is taking away the right of a parent to parent their child. And when you hear the president saying that, different people in the Democratic Party, the governor of California trying to pass laws saying that if parents don't affirm their kids can be taken away from them, and the parents have no repercussion. There's nothing they can do. They can't even go to court about it because it's now a law, or they're trying to make it a law where they can just come in and take your kids away. This is very dangerous, like I said, because what it's leading to. If you go all the way back, when I was growing up, there was prayer in school. When I was growing up, even now as an adult, I understand that we as Christians, we should not celebrate Christmas because it's a pagan holiday. But when I was growing up, Christmas was about Christ. Christmas was about Jesus. You can go in the stores and you would see nativity scenes with Joseph, Mary, and the baby Christ. You would hear songs singing about the birth of Jesus, like the little drummer boy, do you see what I see? You would hear songs that would make you think about God, the birth of Jesus, because Christmas was supposed to be his birthday. So you would hear that, you would see that, people were saying Merry Christmas. Then you had people come along saying, well, you know, I don't believe in prayer, I'm an atheist, so I don't feel that my child should have to pray in school, so they took that out. I don't believe in Christmas. Don't say Merry Christmas. So they changed it to Happy Holidays. I'm offended by the music that's being playing because it's referencing Jesus, and that's not my religion. So they started taking Christ out of Christmas. You know, now Christmas is more commercialized. Christmas is not celebrating, like I said, even though it is a pagan holiday, I understand that now as an adult. But you know, it's no longer what it used to be when I was growing up. So every area, excuse me, every area in this country where there's Christianity, there's Christian religion, they're trying to slowly kill it. And a lot of people actually agree with that because they don't have certain morals and values that they have to uphold if they obey what it is to be a Christian. The Christian rules that God, Yahweh, has put forth that we should obey to be good citizens. That's basically all it is. And so with this going on, they slowly, because you have to understand the moves that they're actually making. It's just like a long-term chess game that has been playing out in society. At one point in time, gay people could not get married. There was men and men, women and women. They had no desire to be any other sex than what they were, but they felt that, they had the right to be in a relationship with each other and be able to get married and be able to have the same rights and benefits as a heterosexual couple. So that was fought in court. They won. They got those rights. Then everything else started attaching to that. So then you had transgender saying we have the right to dress as a woman and be identified as a woman. Then you get with the actual surgery. We can have surgery and we can have our documents. We can have our driver's license changed. We can have our birth certificate changed, saying that we are legally a woman. So all this stuff just kept piling on, piling on, piling on. So now you see where we're at now, where all these rights that transgenders are getting, that now it's offensive to say as a woman, for me to say I'm a real woman, it's actually offensive to someone. For me to say I am a God-made woman, that's offensive to someone. So I'm looked at as being mean. I'm looked at as being hateful because I'm addressing myself as a real woman, which I am. But because someone else's opinion saying I'm offended by that term because they're not a real woman, or they feel like I'm a cis woman, which I don't understand what that is, and I never agreed to be a cis woman. I am a real woman. If you don't speak their terminology, if you don't conduct yourself the way they want you to conduct yourself, the way they want you to conduct yourself, then you are wrong, you are offensive, and you are a troublemaker, and everything else they want to label you as, they're going to try to stick that label on you. By doing so, like I said, what they're actually leading up to is they're already sexualizing kids to the point of that's what's being taught in school, because it's not saying there's male, female, and then there's transgender. They're not teaching that. They're teaching actual sex. They keep saying it's not about sex, but they keep teaching actual sex. Then when you look at some of the Pride Parade, how these men are parading around naked in front of kids, how these men are how they're dressed, how they're dancing, how they're twerking in front of kids. Because even as a heterosexual woman, if I was somewhere at a birthday party or something like that, and it was an adult birthday party and their kids was there and these adults was doing all this, I would feel like, why are these kids in this environment? Or why are these kids being taken to a strip club? Why are these kids, allowed to watch strippers or porn? I would still feel the same way. Why, kids should not be in adult environments. If they want to do those things, don't do it in front of kids. But they're doing it in front of kids to get kids to feel that it's okay. And they keep attaching all this stuff under the original, we're gay, we want to be married. They attach that to that. And the reason they did that is because who can really speak against them about you're wrong for wanting these laws and wanting these rights when they was fighting for the same laws and rights to be accepted? So if I was fighting to be accepted, how can I turn to someone else and say, yeah, you can't be accepted, because they're all under the same umbrella? So it's like almost like they would be destroying themselves if they spoke against what this is currently leading to. And what it's leading to is sex trafficking, including adults and children. It's a $9.5 billion industry. It's only second to drug trafficking. This is a big business going on when it comes to sex trafficking. And then with the kids, there are men who enjoy having sex with kids. I don't care what woman is out there. I don't care how bad the woman is or how fine she is, whatever. They will look past her and all these other women and look at this child and desire to be with that child. So this is slowly being pushed in, because once they get everyone to agree that it's everybody kids, they're not your kids, they're everybody kids, the kids belongs to us. You as a parent won't have a right to your child. And then if a grown man say, I want to marry this 6-year-old girl, he's going to be able to do so. If this grown man say, I want to date your son, he's going to be able to do so, because there's going to be laws in place to protect them, like everyone else under that LGBTQ plus community. They're going to be protected. They're going to have these rights and these laws. And as normal Christians and people who see the wrong in what's going on, they want to silence our voice. Just like when you look at the situation with Joe Biden, the border is still open. It's not only a danger to our country, but it's part of the drug trafficking that's coming into this country. and it's also part of the human trafficking, with sex trafficking with kids. He's sitting there talking about these are our kids, the kids that are Americans, the kids that have parents, the parents that's trying to do their best to raise their kids, send them to school to get an education, and if their kid have a bad day, they're upset, they're confused, and the parent push back against it, as they should, because they're trying to guide their child in the right direction. They can come in and just take that child and ruin everyone's life, ruin the parents' lives and ruin the children's lives. They want to do that, but he lost 85,000 kids that came across the border without parents. They still don't know where 85,000 kids are. So if you don't think this is about them wanting to sell these kids, to have these kids, send these kids to all these perverted men out there who enjoy having sex with kids, if y'all don't really see what's going on, one day you're going to wake up and your child is not going to be in their bedroom because of this law of our kids, because that's what they want it to be, our kids. They're going to be laid up with some grown man, and he's going to be doing awful things to them. And I'm saying it like this because this is the truth. This is what's happening. This isn't like, oh, it's in the future. This is what's currently happening. The only thing that's stopping them is a law. Couple words on the paper. That's the only thing that's stopping them. So as Christians, we have to push back. If you're, like I said, forget about Democrats, forget about Republicans. If you have any moral compass and you see what's going on, you see the language they're using, you see how they're talking, you see the things they're doing, and you know these things are wrong, why would you still vote for them just because they belong to a certain party? You should vote against them. The governor, the next time there's I don't know if the governor could be impeached or not, but whatever needs to be done to stop these type of crazy laws from being passed, they need to go ahead and stop them. If there whatever pushback needs to happen, stop it, because like you might be sitting there saying, well, I don't have kids right now, so it's not affecting me. One day it will affect you, because the other thing you have to think about, all these kids that's going through transition, they're being damaged mentally. They're being damaged on a mental level, because once they go through their transition, because they're telling them, oh, you're going to be okay. Oh, you're going to feel great. You're going to be living your best life after you have this surgery. 9 times out of 10, these kids are not living their best life. They regret they had the surgery. They can't reproduce. Some of them can't even have sex because they no longer have their sex organs. And so it's like, what life do they really have? It's like they're living a life as a it's like they almost like no gender at this point, because they can't live fully as a man, they can't live fully as a woman. And they understand that there is no third gender. It's either male or female. And so they have regrets. And sometimes you're going to have 3 type of people that come out of that situation. People who really don't care. And then you're going to have other people who are so hurt, so devastated, and so misled that they're going to go ahead and recruit more kids, because like they say, hurt people. They're going to look at these kids and be like, well, no one cared about me. And they're going to recruit these kids and lead them down the same road. They're going to be the ones in these positions to pass these laws. That's what you got to understand. People grow up. People take certain jobs, take certain jobs and certain be in politics and different things like that, where they're making laws. So their laws might not affect you now, but eventually they will, because if no one is stopping them, what other things they're going to start, pushing forward. And that's the thing you got to understand. This is a very sick and sadistic world. They just want to be able to have sex with any and everyone they want to at a whim, and not care about the repercussions, not care about the devastation they're causing to these kids. They don't care about any of that. They don't care about the pain. They don't care about the heartache. They don't care about the trauma that these kids experience and have to live with for the rest of their life, if they actually survive that. some kids actually die because they have so many people just going through them. They're in such a rotation that their little bodies can't take it and they end up dying. And so just really think about it. Like I said, it's a slow movement, but this movement got a lot of force behind it. And if it's not stopped, I'm telling you, there will be a law that a grown man can have sex with a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a newborn baby, whatever they desire. Because you see now they're saying that some people are saying they don't want to write their gender of the baby on the birth certificate until the baby identifies who they are. So if the doctor sit there and say you got a son, the doctor's wrong. If the doctor sit there and look and see a vagina and say you got a daughter, the doctor's wrong. So like I said, really think about the direction they're going in on a mental level, where they're trying to get all these words twisted around. They're trying to get all these things turned around, where a child, a baby, can identify themselves as either being male or female or transgender or no gender, or he, she, them, they, we, us, and they're saying that this baby, this child, has enough knowledge, it has enough wherewithal to make these decisions. So once they get that law passed, you go to the nursery to get your baby and your baby not there because someone else, the baby smiled at me, so they wanted to be with me. And I know I might sound crazy saying that, but you gotta look at the craziness that's going on in this world. Peace.